Gotta love that cough.
Sorry.
Fishing champs. Hey guys, what's up? Mr. Poseidon here. Another day, another episode. It's Sunday night, 7 p.m. Where is everybody? Hey, let's not forget it is Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody. I hope you are enjoying this. Not with me. You better be here with me. I need your help right now. But happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody. I hope you're enjoying everything. All the festivities going on. Lots of good stuff going on out there. I see families, but they're not here. They're somewhere else. I'm imagining the families. Everybody's away and the towns get empty where I am. But anyhow, tomorrow we got some plans. We're going to go to some war veterans. I don't know what it is, but I'm going. I love my country and I support my government, whoever it shall be. But anyhow, we got a great show lined up for you today. We got in studio, listen, in studio, Dennis Coons. You're looking at me right now, you're like, who is Dennis Coons? Let me explain something to you. From now on, you will never forget who Dennis Coons is. Are you ready? Second chance tackle. Second chance tackle. What is second chance? Let me explain to you. We're talking about tackle that has just been laying there that you don't give a crap about anymore. And here comes Dennis, picks it up, looks at it, and says, hey, I could fix this. Make sure he's got all the parts, cleans everything up, and you got a nice reel ready to go. Dennis has got a channel on YouTube. It's very knowledgeable, man. So many reels. He repairs these things. He shows you how to do it. You see it right there. 2 hands in a reel. You can't go wrong. And some of the best explanation that you can listen to. Well, he's here today. We'll be talking to him in a little while. Again, it is Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day again to everybody else. Let's say hello to the honey. Hey, honey. Oh, I don't got the camera set up on you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, honey. We'll do the whole studio and you can turn around. No, not that one. Overall, here we go. You can turn around and say hi to everybody, honey. Hey, guys. What's up? So we're here. Getting ready for the show to start. That's right. Mr. Poseidon. Changing up the music a little bit. All right, let's say hello to some people out here. Chris Gannon, my buddy. How you doing, Chris? Happy Memorial Day weekend to you guys, too. Hope you're enjoying that nice weather down in the hotlands. Willie J, good evening, Mr. Willie J. Willie J will be at this year's Montauk Striper Challenge. He told me himself he joined, him and his buddy. They'll be showing up. What's the Montauk Striper Challenge? October 16th, 17th, and 18th. Excuse me, guys. Let's bring Johnny on that one. But anyway, the 16th, 17th, and 18th, Montauk, New York. It's a striper competition. That's called the Montauk Striper Challenge. It's the guy who catches the biggest fish. That's right, the biggest fish by length. I don't like doing the boga grip. I like saving the fish a little bit. So get that measurement and get that fish back out on the water. But biggest fish wins. $5,000 and a premium. Woo! Premium jacket. All the advertisers on there. Every brand you can imagine. Every top-notch brand is on that jacket. You open up the inner lining. It's a picture of the champ. Pictures of the champ. Could be 50 pictures in there, all different. Really a nice piece of merchandise. That's the trophy you take home. As far as the trophy, I keep the trophy here in the studio. If you can see it overall. Honey, maybe you can point to it. The trophy, honey. It's right there in front of you. Just point to it. There you go. It was hard, but we got the point out of her. It's all good. So basically, your name goes up on the trophy and stays here in the studio and gets advertised year-round. So it's going to be a great time. We have over $60,000 in cash and prizes. $5,000 is only the first prize. We got 35, 25, 15, and 1,000 for fifth. From 6 to 15, you got 10 Van Store reels, VS 200s, X2 Series reels. And from 16 through 20, you got 5, 4, 3, 2, and $100. We do the longest cast for 2,000, most accurate cast at 1,000. We also do the women's treasure hunt. 2 women are going to win $500 a piece each. Gift certificates to Sephora, that's $500 each. And also we're going to have the awards night. That's the third night. Everybody gets a token, 2 tokens, one for a free drink, one for an appetizer. And all the awards, everything will be given out that night. Everybody gets to meet each other. It's a grand time. This is my 5th annual. Anybody who's ever come before knows what a good event this is. It's all about you guys. It isn't about Mr. Poseidon. It's about me putting together all the work I got to do so I can try and break even. But that's another story. Anyhow, so, honey, what's going on this week? Anything? How come I don't hear you?
Oh, what happened? Is this on?
Okay, now it's on. Okay, it's not funny anymore.
We're good. We're good.
We're good? That's it? There's nothing going on. We're good.
Oh, we were saying we're going to some Memorial Day parades.
That's right, tomorrow.
In town.
Yeah, I let you know that I am not going to a parade. I'm going to that other thing with you. Parades are done with me. I don't do parades anymore. I'm sorry. Anyhow, all right. So back here, I'm going to say hello to a few people who are here. Chris Gannon, Willie J, Outfish, Outfitters. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Aquatic Apes, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? John Francisconi, who I see here by the river. His license plate says the Fish Guru. Call him the King of the Hudson on Instagram. That's at King of the Hudson if you want to get in touch with him, or just follow him to see all the action that goes on. Heinz Bolster, what's going on? Outcast One, how are you, buddy? I'm getting closer to that camper every day. And Black, what's going on? Hey, Mr. and Mrs. P. Yoga with the Timeless Runner. Tuning in to see Dennis. There you go. Wormway, what's going on? Who else do we got here? Christopher Morey, what's going on? Mr. P from Kentucky. You know, that's one of the places we got lined up as retirement. We'll have to talk. You'll have to let me in on some of the secrets of Kentucky living. All right, so let's say hello to our guest today. Get him on here nice and early. Dennis Coons, let's go. Want to bring him over, hun?
Here we go. Hey.
Are we on?
What's going on, Dennis?
Oh, everything's going on.
It's a beautiful thing, baby. So, Dennis, I know you take a drive down here. You thought it was going to be a nice drive down here, and what happened?
Well, everybody decided that Sunday was a good time to travel. So we got a little bit stuck up in it, but it's always great being here in person with you, Eric.
Oh, thanks,
and,
Dennis.
Enjoy the ride. You know, it's the dues you pay, but
yes,
you know, the interactions are fantastic. We had a wonderful conversation earlier.
Oh, yes, we did.
And I look forward to discussing some of those things with you today.
Absolutely. We had you on the show before, and obviously, basically, like a show like your YouTube channel, which is Second Chance Tackle. Maybe you want to let some people who haven't been on, or maybe let them know exactly what you do, Dennis.
Sure. So Second Chance Tackles, well, it's 8 years since I originated it, based on a suggestion from my daughter. And when we put that together, the idea was to take what I know, to take what I was doing as a hobby and turn it into an educational event. Teach other people how to do what I was doing, and more importantly, how to save their fishing reels or save their tackle or recondition it so that it can continue to be used. One of the issues that we had is everything's become disposable.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody encourages you to trade it out or throw it out and buy new. Right? I think that's the consumerism in the way that the fishing industry has evolved. So the very expensive stuff, they kind of shut you out because, well, they want that service to the manufacturer. And anything under $100, they tell you throw it out. I want to sell another one. And we were talking earlier. Some of that has led to poor design and poor quality because they put inferior materials in there, figuring that the fishing reel's only going to last a year or two and be replaced.
Right.
And that's somewhat of a shame. So I started the channel, and I'm proud to say today we have 35,000 subscribers. Hopefully, a good amount of them are on this broadcast.
Sure.
We'll talk a little bit about that in a little while.
Great.
But I have over 2,000 videos, most of them on how to fix fishing reels. They're sitting in the YouTube library. If you just go to Second Chance Tackle and put in a qualifier like pen reel, you'll find thousands of them, I guess. And the legacy that I'm leaving is not only about the education, but it's also about transferring skills, letting them know how to work on those reels, and more importantly, how to save those or give those reels a second chance.
Right. Absolutely, Dennis. Very nicely said. So you were here earlier. You had brought some reels with you that are basically 100 years old. And what you had just mentioned, you know, the quality of reels is not what it used to be. When you used to make something back in the day, the first thing you were looking to do, it doesn't have to be a reel, you were looking to make a quality product. And that's switched a little today in the mind thinking of where if it breaks, they'll just buy another one, and that'll keep us in business longer. But you showed me those reels, Dennis, and they were quite amazing.
Right.
Can you
Sure,
show me?
we can bring those up again.
Yeah, I'd
So
like that.
One of the things that has evolved in the fishing business, one of the reasons why Eric and I were talking, you don't want to become stale in your approach to YouTube. And with 2,000 videos on how to work on fishing reels, well, it sort of gets to be jumping the shark. There's only so many times you can take a reel apart, so many times you can diagnose the issue and pass along what's happening with it and how to repair it before folks start to say, well, I've seen that before, been there, done that. Let me switch off. Because in YouTube, you're always competing for everybody's time. And I want to take a moment here to thank everybody who's actually on the broadcast, because we know your time is important to you, especially on Memorial Day weekend. And,
Absolutely.
you know, especially tomorrow. I always get wondered about, should we say Happy Memorial Day? Because it really is a somber holiday.
Yes.
And I want to thank everybody who gave their lives for
Absolutely.
our freedom before we go any further there. But I'm trying to figure out, I'm at an inflection point, trying to figure out where does the channel go from here? And we're always going to support how do you fix a fishing reel, because, well, that's our genesis. That's where we've kind of made our bread and butter. But we're looking to do some other things as well. And I was thinking a good topic to talk to Eric about. So one of those is actually tackle and its history.
Right.
Because if you know where you've come from, you know where it's going from. And, well, maybe you can put away some of the marketing hype that goes along with that new product.
Absolutely.
That really isn't new, right?
Correct.
And so the first thing I wanted to show were two reels.
You got a bag there that it's coming out of, too. We're going to be talking about that in a bit. Yeah.
Ro, can you get these on, or can you get those on the thing?
Absolutely.
So these two reels fascinated me, more for where they were made and when they were made than the actual reel itself. But to go back to something I often say in my broadcasts, a fishing reel is a relatively simple piece of machinery. A big gear drives a little gear, turns something to collect the line. On a conventional reel, it's turning the spool. On a spinning reel, it's turning the rotor, and it's going to collect the line onto a fixed spool. Well, I think Eric might be showing you the two reels that we have, because I came across those, and I was fascinated by them. Why was I fascinated? Well, they were made down the corner from us. We're up here on the border of New Jersey and New York, and these reels were made in Newark, New Jersey. The second thing that fascinated me was these reels were made over 100 years ago, and they still work today. The company that made the reels is a company called Meiselbach. It was Meiselbach and Brothers, and then it became Meiselbach Catucci when Meiselbach was eventually sold. And the simplicity in the design of the reel, the materials that are in those reels, and the functionality of those reels just can't be beat by anything today. And I've got some other examples we'll show as well. But the notion that somebody is delivering something new and unusual and extraordinary in fishing tackle is really sales hype. There are a couple of things where you have significant innovation. Let's go back and say I'm looking at Eric's mic here. he's got a soft bait with a paddle tail on it.
Yeah.
That was innovative, right? You used to get these rubber worms, I guess, for striper fishing, right? The eels,
Yeah.
right? But that was one of the introductions, a bait-scented rubber or whatever we want to call a gulp these days with a paddle tail. That was an innovation.
That was an innovation, no doubt.
Yeah. So the innovation there. But when you look at the fishing reel design, whether it's a fly reel, a spinning reel, a conventional reel, it really hasn't changed over time. And the two reels that Eric was just showing there. Mr. P. Well, we'll call you Mr. P.
Yeah.
Gonna stay with the channel here.
There you go.
Those things were, well documented, boilerplated, and there's a reason why they've been copied and continue to be made that way today.
Guys, I just want to add in that for you guys that really don't see it, every part is metal. Today, you do not get reels like this. When things were built back then, they were looking at quality at the same time, not only just to get it out and sell it, you were getting a quality product. This is quite amazing to me. 100 years old right here, guys, and it's still cranking. You find me a reel made by Shakespeare that's 100 years old, it'll disintegrate by then.
Well, the 100-year-old Shakespeare's will last.
Yeah,
Once today will not. So let's do another one. This is fun. This is almost like when you did Letterman.
Yeah.
And you bring the guy in from the zoo, and he would bring all these little critters on just to entertain you. That's kind of what I did here. So show this one now.
Okay.
I think that's a Shakespeare from the 1950s.
Wow.
That's 70 years.
Guys,
70 years and counting for those of you that are wondering.
I don't even think of a Shakespeare as a quality product. And look, oh my goodness, it's fantastic.
So one of the things we're trying to do in our direction is to branch out, right? To expand off of your base of just fixing a fishing reel, to going into the histories and explaining some of the products that have come about, the innovations behind them, and how they actually affect you. So you're looking at a 1950s reel, Eric.
Yeah, 1956.
Mr. P.
Yes.
And, we'll get this right yet before we leave.
Goodness.
All right. Here's a brand new Cast King deadbolt. Take a look at that.
Versus this.
So one of the things I've been doing is I've been advocating for Cast King and Boca Bearings. Those are two of the people that I've collaborated with because I believe in their products. Take a look at that, Eric, and tell me what's the difference between that and the one that you just had in your hand.
Well, the one I have in my hand is pretty much all metal and very heavy. This is super light, but the material is not all metal. Am I correct?
It's graphite, right? It's graphite. Yep. But look at the design. You have a star adjuster on that one?
Totally.
No.
No, on this.
No star adjuster on that? How about the other one?
No.
Nope.
Why not?
Everything new is old again. Or is it the other way around? Everything that's old is new again.
I guess when they say that simple is better, rather than having the less parts you have moving, the less chance you have of having a problem.
I am such a fan of simple design. It wins every time. Quality materials and simple design will beat anything out there. That Cast King is a fantastic reel. It's called a deadbolt. It does not have a drag. It's a direct drive reel. It's for lurching bass out of lily weeds and the like where the star adjuster could get in the way. But the point is that they've taken a reel design, manufactured it to today's, what I'll call industrial design. But the principle is the same darn thing as that reel that's 70 years old.
Wow.
It's just, it's incredible. And I think it's actually a compliment to the folks that made the Shakespeare reel back in the day. And I think it's a compliment to the folks that have learned over at Cast King what that's all about as well. So kind of fun. And that's one of the directions that I'm trying to take the channel. I'm trying to get out from just looking at how to fix a reel.
Right.
It's always going to be there, and it's always going to be an important part of the channel, but it's not just going to be the channel. And if we can look at the history of reels and learn from that, I think that's important. If we can look at the new products and do product reviews on them and pass that information on to folks who may be considering making a purchase on something. I mean, let's face it, the products are not cheap these days.
No, they're not.
And if you're on the internet, well, buyer beware, right? It's always been the case, right? And we got another one we'll show you on that.
I have to
jump in.
I have to mention that when you say product review, it's probably the best thing that you can have out there. People love, as myself, whatever I'm planning on buying, I rush to YouTube and I punch it in to see if somebody else had it. I want to see a review on it. And I love those videos.
Yep.
Product review. Go ahead, Dennis.
One of the most watched videos that comes out is unboxing videos because people want to see what it is that you're going to get, how it's packed. You can look at the packaging on that Cast King. That is incredible packaging inside, and that says something about the quality of the reel itself, right? But I'm not a shill for companies. I'm not going to tell anybody to buy something that I don't believe in myself. So here's another one. I guess we're going to just pass things along here.
Okay.
I love the, if you're English and like to read Chinese, this is always good. Here's my version of an Amazon reel. And
Here you go, guys, right here.
The folks that...
So if you like reading Chinese, it's right there for you.
Right? It's an Amazon reel. I call them Amazon reels. Let's call them internet reels because
You have the
they could be...
directions on top.
Well, kind of, sort of, and that's an interesting story in itself. So this reel advertises that it has 10 ball bearings in it. It's a selling point of the reel. Unfortunately, it doesn't have 10 ball bearings in it. And Eric and I were talking, maybe those are the individual balls.
Yeah, maybe they're talking.
But if you go on to the schematic that's in that box, they only identify 5 of them. So be aware that what you may be purchasing is not necessarily what it is. We're going to talk in a little while about hybrid ball bearings, which is another thing that I believe in. But the nature of the beast says that what you don't tell them is almost more important than what you do tell them. And on the internet, they kind of slide over some of the details on the products that they're providing to you at a bargain price, in that you're getting inferior materials. We're just talking about that with stainless steel bearings. There's all versions of stainless steel bearings, right? And the same thing happens with all versions of reels and product specs and the like. But don't take it at face value. And that's where the YouTube channel, like we were talking about, an unboxing.
Oh, beautiful.
Or in my case, where
Love
I can take a reel apart and show folks, this is what really is inside this reel, even if it has nothing to do with a repair or a service. I think that's a value that I can add to the community that watches us. And I think it's really important that folks question things from time to time and let their curiosity get them.
I'm curious because this is the first time I see where it doesn't have a wind up here. Or a screw-in type.
Yeah,
handle.
that's a little collapsible handle.
It's got a collapsible with a little, I guess, spring-operated.
Yep. But it doesn't mean that everything's wrong, but it does mean that you need to be more careful, if you will, in terms of that.
Spring-loaded right there. You got to be more careful.
Yep.
That spring's got to be fresh for you all the time.
There you go. So it's unfortunate. Internet has put a lot of bait and tackle shops out of play, out of business. And those are the folks you used to go to on a day-in, day-out basis. Not only did you ask them what fish are biting and what are they hitting, it's what tackle should I use? What product do you recommend?
Yes.
I mean, your money's dear to you, and you would trust a fellow who's in the bait and tackle business, because if you walked into that store and he pointed you in the wrong direction, you're going to go out and tell 100 people that, boy, did he steer you wrong in terms of that reel, right? Well, there's no collective conscience like that on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So if you can become the voice of that, if you can tell people this is what it's about, it's something that you can add value to. And I think
100%.
We were talking about this earlier about how do you differentiate yourself when there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are on YouTube doing fishing videos, doing fishing shows, and the channels and that. Yeah. You have to pick your niche. But at some point in time, that niche is going to handcuff you.
Yes.
Right? And that's where I'm looking to kind of expand within a certain range and then figure it out. And my channel subscribers have been fantastic in terms of offering ways to go. And that's one of them. It's let's talk a little bit about the product reviews. And what the differences are that they can make, right?
So when you say you want to do product display, let's do that expansion right now. You were showing me this bag a little earlier, right?
Sure. So again, I always...
You could take that and put that right up there. Let's give us a second, guys.
Where am I putting this?
Put it right in front of you, and then lay that bag right on it, and it should be right on the camera.
All right. Let's see what we can do here. All right, we're getting...
good enough.
We're getting closer.
Beautiful.
All right, so
it's a backpack he's got there, guys.
This is a fishing backpack. It's by Cast King. It retails for $109 for those that are running worrying about getting out of there. But I would have never thought about doing a video on a backpack if my grandson didn't say, gee, I'd like to get a backpack for fishing. Now, one of my grandsons has, I have two grandsons. One of them has a backpack. It's a little shoulder strap, and he carries his bait for his carp and his catfishing in the back of it. Let's call it a snack pack, if you will, not a backpack, right? Well, the other one is a full-function backpack. And when I think about the backpacks, when I go fishing, I'm carrying a lunch pail or something that's got a snack in it. I'm carrying my traditional hard plastic tackle box, probably carrying a sweatshirt in case the weather changes.
Of course.
Carrying my rods, maybe I got two of them there, maybe a spare reel because, I'm the shoemaker's child.
There you go.
The reels may break. And who knows what else I'm carrying? Carrying a bottle of water, maybe.
Of course, we all do.
I don't have the pineapple, but if I had a pineapple, it would be in there, right? So when my grandson said, you ought to check this backpack out, I got in touch with Cast King, and I said, well, can you send me one of these for evaluation? Let me see what I can do, right? That's what we see here. So let's just take a quick look at some of the features and functions of this, right?
Back it up a little, Dennis, all the way to you on the edge.
All the way to me on the edge.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
So in the first one, you actually have a detachable bait bag. We were talking about the gulps and that.
Yeah.
Again, this can be fresh water, too. And one of the things I like about this, it's got tackle envelopes in it. We're not going to see this. This is going to be horrible.
Yes, you can. No,
this is going to be horrible,
Just
right?
open it. There you go.
There you go. You got all these plastic sleeves in here.
You could see it perfect, Dennis. Absolutely perfect.
For your lures, for your gulp baits, for whatever it is.
So you can pretty much make your rigs, set them in those plastics, and they're ready to go for you. You carry them in the backpack. You don't want to bring the whole backpack. You could turn that, just carry it over your shoulder.
You got it.
Good stuff. The backpack, like Dennis mentioned earlier, you want to bring a lunch, you want to bring a water with you, you want to bring an extra sweater or a jacket or whatever the heck it is. This has got a nice a roomy area. You could fit everything in there, put it on your back, and pretty much feel secured. Also,
wait, there's more.
Yes, I got to hear it. I love it.
There's room for 3 rods on this. You actually look like a communications tech guy in the Army.
There you go.
This one has one. It's an older rod. We'll take a look at that maybe.
Sure.
Place for your water. And on the back is really interesting now.
Oh, cool. You got a little zippered area there.
I hope I'm not messing up everybody. You got 4 tackle
boxes.
Hard boxes.
Oh, nice. So you can put your gear all in there.
All the gear goes in there.
There you
it's
go.
It's waterproof. There's 4 of them, and I know this is off camera, and I'm going to apologize.
It's all good. You don't got to put him back right now, Dennis.
Yeah, you know. And then up top, well, we were talking about...
Yeah, watch that doesn't fall. It's going to fall.
It's going to fall.
Oh, perfect. Perfect timing.
We rehearsed this earlier.
We've done this millions of times. I love it.
Up top, you have convenience for your cell phone, your car keys, your wallet, whatever you want to put in there.
You see it right there.
I don't know if you can
and
see
then
that.
You got the area
inside. And then you got
inside.
the mouth inside, which can pack your lunch. Well, in this case, I put a lot of fishing reels in here.
Okay.
Because I knew I was coming for that. And,
anything that you need to bring.
So
that's a standard size. You could pretty much fit in the bag and you can take with you. Like Dennis just mentioned, your main priorities, water, maybe a lunch, maybe a sweater or something else. If the weather changes, the most important things he just showed you. You could show them again, Dennis, those boxes that go inside the bag, which is pretty cool, man. You could pretty much have your whole attack regimen with you, and just the bag takes care of everything. You reach a good spot, put the bag down, start fishing, catch some fish, and anything else that you might need, change of bait, change of tackle, you got it all with you.
So why did I do this? I didn't do this to sell Cast King bags. They appreciate the videos I do on that. But it's more about product awareness.
Sure.
Like I said, if I didn't have a grandson who was looking for one of these, pass right by. What do I need a backpack for, right? And yet, now that I have it, I'm not sure he's getting it.
Gotta love it.
Okay, I'm honest. What can I say? All right.
I hope your grandson's not watching it.
Oh, I hope he is.
And if he is, well, you know now Grandpa's got to buy another one for you, buddy.
For Grandpa's got to buy one. Yeah. So to my subscribers that are watching, let me offer you this. Eric is a great resource He points a lot of people to independent folks that are out there, whether they're building rods, building reels, making tackle. The conversations are very interesting. A lot of them are Northeast-type conversations, but he does get across the country dealing with folks. And I want to encourage you to subscribe to his channel. And I'm going to encourage you because I'm going to do a drawing. We're going to come up with one in a little while.
Sure.
But I'm going to do a drawing. So if you subscribe to Eric and send me a note in the comment of any of my videos that says Mr. Poseidon, that's all you have to say, Mr. Poseidon, I will enter you in a drawing, and we will reward you by entering you into that drawing.
There you go.
And we'll talk about that in a moment. And, oh, by the way, if there's anybody watching Eric that would like to subscribe to me,
Yes.
first video you watch, put Mr. Poseidon in there. We'll put you in that drawing as well.
That's right. Just for you guys to know, we're speaking to Dennis Coons. That's Second Chance Tackle on YouTube. An overview would be YouTube channel host and influencer, posting on how to service and repair fishing reels. He's been doing this for over 8 years now. He's got 35,000 subscribers and over 2,000 fishing reels videos. Primary objective here is to keep fishing reels fishing by showing folks how to service and repair their reels. Secondary is service, repair reels, and for those that do not want to do it yourself. Just good stuff coming from Dennis. I urge everybody out there, at least keep him in your contact, so this way you can always get in touch with him for any type of help. I'm pretty sure, Dennis, if they contacted you, you'd be glad to answer anybody's question.
One of the things that's helped build the channel is I answer all comments and questions, and I get everything from I just dropped my reel in the water, what can I do, to my bail doesn't flip. That's probably the biggest one I always get. The bail spring is broken or something.
Right.
Or any other diagnosis. It's got a grind to it. It's not reeling properly. The thumb bar doesn't release on my bait caster. And I take the time to at least share with them what I know because, again, we want to keep those reels fishing.
Right.
Eric, thanks for the introduction. I couldn't have written that better myself.
Oh, man. You did a great introduction. Dennis, I have a thing coming in here from Edwin Rivera. He's asking, has Dennis found a cheap Amazon reel that's actually good?
Yeah, so there's a couple of them. If you go on my channel, you can see them. The thing that I don't like about them is they lie. But sometimes, the product is still a good product. They just told you that they had too many bearings.
Right.
I just found one for $20. It's made by Accuretta. Gee, sounds like Accurate, doesn't it?
Right, definitely.
It's a spinning reel. They said they had 13 ball bearings in it. It had 5. Very solid, very dependable metal reel that works.
Nice.
I also did Caesar. That's another one that's out there. Placino is a good reel. And I'm trying to think. Sulagang. If you find Sulagang, it is not a bad reel. Unfortunately, they can't count either when it comes to bearings. But again, I've got those videos posted on my channel. If you want to take a look at them, they are solid. They're made well. And, when you think about a $20 or $30 or $40 reel, which is where these are coming in, right? Because who's buying them, right? I call them cabin reels. They're great starter reels. They're not going to be your daily driver. But if you've got a youngster who you're afraid of handing out your van stall to and you want to take them to the beach, what a wonderful deal. Just get them a 5,000 size or 6,000 size, strap it on a $25 pole, and better yet, buy a used pole, keep them in circulation. And, they will serve their purpose, right? They'll never do less than what you bought them for. You may mature as an angler. You may say, I need a smoother reel. I need one I can cast further. I need one, pick a number, different color, whatever it is. But that reel that you purchased is always going to do what it did. Just like those reels you just showed, 100 years old.
Yeah.
You could take them fishing tomorrow. As a matter of fact, maybe I will.
That's awesome, man. I got something coming in from Yoga, the Timeless Runner. Question for Dennis. Are there any significant differences in the development of fishing tackle between USA, Europe, Asia, and the Pacific Islands?
There you go.
Any specific differences?
So I thank my twin brother for asking that. I guess he wants to just make me feel comfortable. Yeah, no. The answer is no. If you look at the stuff that's out there today, it's boilerplate. I have not seen any significant differences. In the days gone by, they were fantastic. You would go to West Germany, for example, and take a damn quick reel. And what a joy of engineering, because that's what the West Germans and Germans in general were known for, their engineering prowess, right? You went for the Mitchells in France, or the, who was a Crack was another one, Luxor was another one. There were French reels.
Yeah, Crack made it big here in the U.S., by the way.
They're the, believe it or not, they are the inspiration for Van Staal.
Wow.
Their lower body was one of the first sealed reels that you had out there, and that was back in the 1950s. So a lot of people say that Van Staal copied Crack and Luxor in their pieces. But the design today is mass market design. There are leading edge kind of things with lever drags and Avet and Accurate, right? They'll do you well. But most of the stuff, even if you look at Penn makes about 4 reels here, and everything else is made in China. When you go over to China, there's Fishing Tackle Row. You just go in with specs, and they'll draw something up for you, and that's what you're going to get. Right?
Wow.
And it's a shame, right?
Yeah.
But speaking of your Van Stalls that you're going to give out for your tournament, you better go buy them now, because they're all made in China, and they're all going to be subject to the tariffs. So
I know.
If you're going to buy them now. Yeah. Otherwise, the price of that thing is going to go up significantly, right?
Yep.
Which is another thing that I like to do on my channel. I like to go into the fishing industry itself so that people understand who these manufacturers are and what they're making. An example of that is Pure Fishing. Pure Fishing has bought out most of the brands that we used to think were individual brands. They bought out Abu Garcia. They bought out Finor. They bought out Van Staal. They bought out Pfluger, Shakespeare. In addition to Penn, and Berkeley is another one that they purchased when they used to make reels, right? And they've just become Me Too's. They're just beating the brand up, taking the money for what the brand is worth, not really caring too much about its legacy, and just selling it until, well, it runs out of steam. Pfluger would be an example of that. Pfluger was founded in the 1890s by Ernest Pfluger. Had a successful run through 1957 when Shakespeare purchased them, when Pure Fishing purchased Shakespeare, that came over as part of the transaction. And unfortunately, there's one Pfluger reel that's available on the market today.
Wow.
And I guess soon to be non-existent. Hey, how about this one for Abu Garcia? We've always told people don't buy the Chinese ones. I agree. Don't buy them. They're plastic inside. They're junk. Buy the Swedish ones, right? Well, Abu Garcia just announced that the Swedish plant is closing and they're moving production to Poland.
Wow.
So crazy. So that's another thing I like to do on my channel is let people become aware of who's making these reels, the legacies behind these reels. And
very interesting, Dennis.
It just fascinates me. Yeah. But again, I'm trying to spread my wings as well beyond just take the screws out, change the drags, put the reel back together, and smear some grease on it and call it serviced, right?
And I'm sorry if I was going to say that, going back to my overhead here. So here we have a True Blue Shakespeare from 1956. I'm showing everybody on the overhead right now. And I had said to Dennis, while I was looking at this, he was having a conversation with my wife, and I was looking down at it, and I was saying to myself, my goodness, this is basically a 75-year reel or 70-year reel. I mean, the fishing times that this thing went through. Who used this? What kind of fish did they catch? And Dennis, you said it best. If fishing tackle could
talk,
what stories we would get out of these, man.
I had showed him one. We're not going to get to everything tonight, but I had showed him an old fishing rod that I brought, a Pfluger fishing rod.
Yeah.
And it was a fiberglass rod made in the 1950s. And just like to live vicariously through this stuff. You sit there and you go, imagine what the kid's eyes would be.
Imagine.
On Christmas morning when he gets this as a gift.
Come on.
And then
that's
of course,
it right there.
That's it right there. Yep.
You understand, guys, what he's saying here is that, can you imagine a kid, he says, Mom, Dad, I want this, and all of a sudden, honey, you want to switch that over to the main? Yeah. So he wakes up and he sees this. I mean, this at that time, as Dennis said, was very, it was innovative at this time. Look at this.
It's the first time that they came out with fiberglass in
Look at
the
this.
for rods.
And he was showing me that, look at this clip right here. It's spring activated. There's no screw-on type of mechanics here. This is just a snap. You push it down and it snaps right in, and that's it. And the best thing of all, take a look at this, guys. Look at that. Made in the USA. I mean, we don't see a lot of products like this. I do because I'm in the mechanics field, such as HVAC, where we use high-quality products, bearings, things like that, and all of them say made in the USA. Those are starting to change now, too.
Sure
They're starting
are.
to make them overseas. Yep. But when you have something made in the USA, as you know, guys, it's quality. But, again, going back to what we were talking about, imagine the stories that these rods and reels could tell. Quite amazing. I think that's the thing that intrigues me the most, Dennis. I'm a little bit of a storyteller.
Right.
And I love to fantasize on things like that.
There you go.
I wish we could make like a little movie, cartoon. Just tell us that real story.
Wouldn't that be great? Right?
Yeah.
But again, that's one of the reasons why you want to preserve this stuff.
Yes.
Is because there is a history behind it,
Yeah.
and you can learn from the history. We'll take another one here. How's that?
Yeah.
Dog and pony shows, I guess, for Letterman. And
Wait, I do have a question, though, for
Sure.
Dennis. We have Aquatic Ape says, I have a Ronco Pocket Fisherman
Ah.
from the 90s. Could you repair one of those?
They are repairable, yeah.
It doesn't sound like you want to do it.
Well,
though.
no, inside that, Ronco's a fun company, right? They were the guys that developed the Pocket Fisherman, and they always sold them on the late night infomercials. I guess you have it two ways, Ronco, and then I think the other one is, it begins with P, but I've forgotten the guy's name. They separated. They had an argument over who was going to own the rights to that Pocket Fisherman. Father and son, they split, and the older ones became Ronco, which was the son, right?
Right.
Kind of fun. Innovation, right? And that's another one. This is back to our animal show.
Dennis, honey, I got the overhead, sweetheart.
Okay.
Right. That is a self-winding fly reel. It was created by Martin, and it's interesting, as Eric knows.
It's got like a little piston up here. You can actually see it popping up and down.
Yeah, so you
at
wind
that, guys.
wind
Look
up
at
the spring load, and then you take that lever on the left, and you pull it out, and it retrieves. The big long lever there.
This one?
Just pull it back. Pull it
Eric,
back.
it's not in the
This
frame.
way?
The other way. And that's how you would reline.
Oh, man.
It's an automatic fly reel. That's not the story. The story is the guy who got the patent on that owns 2 significant patents that made him a millionaire.
Wow.
That patent applies to self-retracting measuring tapes
Yes.
and self-retracting dog leashes. So if you were making a Stanley tape,
Right.
or you were making
Where is it?
a dog's dog leash, that's it. You're paying this guy a royalty who developed that piece. There you go.
So this guy who did this right here,
that mechanism,
we're giving him royalties on
there
that
you go.
right there.
That's it.
That's his idea.
So
How amazing is that?
Right? How crazy is that?
And
right?
that started from fishing.
From fishing, yeah.
Woo!
Because that
Gotta
guy-
love that one, Dennis.
It's called the Martin, and yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that I hope to communicate to the folks that are watching the channel, trying to broaden their base, right? in terms
Dennis,
of that.
This, what is this called again? What do you need, honey? Okay, I got it on right here. I'm sorry. So what is this called again, Dennis?
That's the Martin automatic fly reel.
So what gets me about this is like, so this is basically like a wind up. The last time I wound something up and it did something like this. Wait a second. Let me wind it up.
Pull it. Don't push it.
Okay, there we go. So the last time I did something like that was on a toy.
Yeah.
So now my question to you is, how does something like this last in the water, man?
Well,
This is freaking amazing.
right? It's
This is amazing.
It's a spring. It's a spring and a spool. That's
Wow.
it, right? Yeah, and the inspiration is wild, right? In terms of where do folks get this stuff. So back to that Shakespeare you got there
Yeah.
with the level wind, and I hope I'm
Yeah.
not boring people.
No.
But back to that level wind, William Shakespeare was out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. He was building his first fishing reels in the late 1800s, 1890s.
Jesus Christ.
He got the level wind. He was the guy who came up with the level wind, that bar that comes back and forth.
Yes.
Where did he get it? He was up in Massachusetts at a sewing machine plant, and he noticed how they were putting the thread onto bobbins. They were using a similar type of an approach with a worm gear and a pawl. And he said, well, I can adapt that for fishing reels. And now everybody uses a level wind.
Everybody.
Nobody uses the educated thumb anymore. They just don't know how that works, right?
That educated thumb does not exist anymore.
Well, it does with some of
Man.
us,
I
right?
mean, yeah, true.
So there still is innovation in fishing reels, moving right along.
Right.
Here's one. It's actually a fishing reel, another Cast King. And I just want to share this one with you because one of my viewers said, what do you know about BFS? Oh, boy. Best friends for what, right? I don't know. So I figured I better go look this up. And BFS is Bait Finesse System. It's hot in Japan. And what it is it enables you to cast very lightweight lures of 1/16th or 1/32nd of an ounce.
Wow.
With that, without backlash, with distance. So you can imagine if you're on a stream somewhere, you got let's say a 15-foot or 30-foot wide stream.
Right.
You can accurately place a very small, let's say a crappie jig, right where you want it in the stream using that. Now, one of the things that's impressive about that is how do you do that? Well, you have to take the weight out of that reel. And the engineers over at Cast King figured out how to do that. If you pass that to me for a second, I'll show you what the biggest drag is. The biggest drag, well, you can tell.
Show it on the camera, Dennis.
Okay.
So show it on yours.
So-
hold on.
Are we on?
Go ahead. Yes, you
All
are.
right, now you got to look at my face. There
Yeah.
you go. Most of the time, people just look at my hands.
You know what it is? Your face is what's in clear. Move the move this
All
a little
right,
bit
we
more.
got-
No, no.
No.
Come, and we'll go this way more. The other way. The other way. Yeah, right there.
All
right
right.
there. Good.
Okay. This reel only weighs 6.5 ounces. That'll give you an idea of what's
Right.
going on. Weight is the biggest drag on casting.
A little higher?
Yeah, I got to just open it up.
Okay.
I'm going to just remove the side plate. Eric, take a look at this spool. Did we lose the spool?
It's behind
Oh,
you.
here it is.
Oh, my goodness, Dennis.
What do you think?
What do you think, guys?
How much
I
does
think
that weigh?
it's Nothing.
Nothing. And that's
Holy
why
cow.
that's why you can cast a very light lure, 1/16th, 1/32nd, with 2 or 4 pound test on it, and make that work, right? Crazy. So that's an innovation that I think has come along. If somebody said what's new in fishing reels, I'd say that would be one of them, right? The other one, the folks that are watching my channel know I've become an advocate of hybrid ceramic ball bearings. Right? Now, why?
Yeah, we were talking about this.
Right. Why is that important? Right. Well, hybrid ceramics, particularly for a lot of the audience that's watching Eric's show, is it's all about salt water and what happens with salt water and bearings. Well, most of the time, salt water is going to intrude in that, right? That's the IPX, right? Intrusion protection, right? And most of the time, it's going to get in there and it's going to start corroding them. It's either going to corrode that or it's going to corrode the track that the bearings are riding on. Your reel becomes sluggish. You lose the performance of the reel. And we were talking, if you have an older 302 or 402 Mitchell, you know after a while it becomes a coffee grinder. It starts to sound loud and the like. Hybrid ball bearings are ceramic bearings in stainless steel races, and they're shielded, right? They have a rubber shield on them. It's by itself, it's going to eliminate a lot of the water that does come in contact with it. But more importantly, ceramics have a couple of advantages over stainless. You can get very specific in terms of the tolerances for the bearing as it's manufactured. There's a rating out there, which I've probably come to know too much about, but it's called ABAC, and it's everywhere from a 1 to a 9 rating, 9 being high and 1 being low. The 7 is an outstanding bearing, very limited tolerance differentials between each bearing. Those things reduce friction On a bait caster, they enable you to throw it a whole lot further because the spool is not bogged down with friction. So you got the advantage of it dissipating heat, limited friction, no corrosion, and it's perfect for a saltwater environment.
It's lighter?
It's a lighter bearing, but that's not necessarily the key to it all.
Understood.
The key is the other properties that
Sure.
it becomes. So I've worked with Boca Bearing. A lot of folks know that. I've done a couple of series on them. I always enjoy upgrading reels or seeing how they can upgrade the reel. Here is a reel that a lot of people consider to be the best reel ever made, or at least the best manufacturer of the reels, at least in the conventional sense. It's a Newell reel. Carl Newell was a manufacturer. He was a avid saltwater fisherman out in California.
I have to stop you for 1 second.
Go.
Now, this cover, the way they have it advertised is what a camera would look like. Is there any chance that Mr. Newman was in the camera business?
Well, it's Newell.
Newell. Is there any...
No, he was in the plastics and
Okay.
and materials business, and he wanted a reel that could endure salt water.
Wow.
So he came up with the graphite frames. You see them there.
Yep.
Everything in that reel is stainless. The gears are stainless. The bridge is stainless. All of the mechanics inside the reel, as well as those trim covers that are on there. And the one thing, when he was designing the reels, that was not available was the hybrid ceramic bearing. He had stainless steel bearings in there. So folks that have fished the Newell reels and fish them long enough notice that they get very noisy and they start to bog down. Well, I just did a video. It'll be posted on Tuesday. And it's on the Newell reel conversion, putting in the hybrid ceramic bearings.
Oh, wow.
Give it a spin. See what you think. Now, put it in free spool, spin the spool.
Hold on.
It's on the right-hand side. I can tell you work spinning reels.
Definitely.
It's not in the frame, Eric.
That's all right. It's not in free spool either.
Yeah.
Oh.
It just goes back. Yeah, you're in free spool now.
Okay. Thank you.
What you'll see there is that it's got limited friction in it. You can just feel the difference that it makes. And I did a full video on how to do that. But again,
It doesn't feel like it's grabbing.
that's because it's smooth.
Wow.
Well, actually, you might have the drag off at that point. You
I think
shouldn't.
so.
You shouldn't have a drag on in storage. So, but again, the notion on the channel is to teach people about the alternatives that are out there, how they can improve the performance of their tackle, how they can keep their tackle just going, year after year or what have you. And if I can come out and show new products that are in the marketplace and the variations on them and why you might want to consider one versus another, then I think that expanding a channel that way is kind of a good idea, right?
This is great, Dennis. I really learned probably more on reels tonight than I've ever thought I would know about reels.
Right.
I've taken apart my reels, the pen, simple stuff,
Right.
which for me was pretty simple back in the day. I would grease them, not because they needed it, because I wanted to do it.
Right.
I never did it, so that's what I did with some of those up there myself. But they're all working fine.
Good.
They're all good.
Good.
We have a question from Willie, guys. Willie J is asking Dennis, what is the best made surf reel for the money?
Well, there you go. The qualifier is for the money, right?
For the money.
You know, there are a lot of good reels out there. And again, I'm not going to espouse one over the other, but Cast King makes an IPX6. It's called the Capstan Elite. And it's in the 5, 6, and 8,000 sizes, which is what you're going to
That's
want in
spinning
the
reel
surf.
we're talking.
Spinning reel.
Yeah.
And it's an IPX6. It's sealed with 15 rubber seals, right? And I think for the money, that is a really tough reel to beat. If you want to step it down a little bit, right?
When you say money, what are we looking at? The
That's
price?
about 150. But
That's-
if you want to step it
okay.
in half, they make a Capstan SE, which still has the same IPX rating.
Yeah.
The difference is that it has alloy gears, not the brass magnesium gears that they use in it. So when you upgrade reels, it's always going to be about what the materials are, and you get what you pay for, right?
Absolutely.
I think those are excellent. I think that Shimano makes some nice reels.
Beautiful.
Right? Penn, let's go back to the story of Penn. Penn was formed by Otto Heinze. He was an Ocean City employee in Philadelphia. Ocean City at the time in the 1930s was making very expensive reels. And this guy walks in. He was a watchmaker by trade, gets a job as a machinist in Ocean City, which is in Philly, and decides he wants to make reels for the average person. He wants to make reels that people can afford, right? And the Penn brand eventually put Ocean City out of business because they underpriced them so much based on the designs that Penn created and its mass marketing and the ability to reach the average person, right? If you look at Penn in the Battle Series, they're a good reel for the surf.
Yeah, they
right?
are.
Don't dunk them, right? What's the difference between an IPX6 and an IPX7? The IPX6, you can turn a fire hose on for 30 minutes and it won't absorb in the case, or whatever the number is. It might be 5 minutes. The difference on a 7 is that you can dunk the reel in 3 feet of water for 5 minutes and you won't get water penetration, right? So where are you surf fishing? If you're standing in the water line and you're not going to dunk the reel, you don't need the 7. If you're chest deep in the water and waders and you get hit by every other wave, get the 7, right?
Wow.
But there's not that much difference, but it's marketing hype, right? Oh, I need the 7. 7's better than a 6. I got to get it.
Yeah,
well, where are you fishing from? I'm fishing from the pier. I'm 30 feet up in the water.
You don't need that.
You know, if you have the money, that's wonderful, right? If you don't, Penn makes a good one in the Battle.
So I took my Stella out
there you go,
times,
the Stella. There you go.
and that's not a reel to be using in the surf. I'm going to tell you right now.
I can kind of see it.
I took it. I sent it back though. I sent it back.
Okay.
They did it was able. It seized on me.
Yeah.
So I sent it back, and they did what they did. That was last year's. I used it quite a few times. And when I go on boats or when I'm going on a pier, I like to bring that reel with me when I know it's not going to get wet.
Right.
But when it gets wet, with it, predominantly for surf fishermen, we have guys that fish in Van Stools. We have guys that fish with Z bass now.
Yep. And they're all good.
They're all good.
I was going to say Penn Torque, but they don't make those anymore.
Yeah, they have another one now that Penn made, which I'm getting for donations, actually from Jack's Bait and Tackle. Thank you so much. It's a 650 or a 550 and a 650 I'm getting.
Okay.
I forgot what they're called. They're brand new. The
Authority?
Yes.
Okay.
Two Authorities I'm going to get. I heard those reels are good. Are they good, Dennis?
They are good. Yeah, but you can, there's a whole different level between the $29 Shakespeare you're going to buy at Walmart, a $100 reel that you're going to buy that's there's a lot of great manufacturers out there. Okuma, Quantum, Penn, the lower end.
And with
Shimano,
today's technology, even those companies with the lower end stuff can make a pretty good product, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, back to the gearing, right? You're going to find a zinc alloy gear in the lower end reels. You're going to find a magnesium brass gear in the mid-price range, and then you're going to find stainless at the upper end of those gears, right? So it's all about what the materials are inside. The designs, they're essentially the same. Big gear turns a little gear, turns something to collect the line.
Yeah.
So unless it's, just something that somebody threw together to get a low bargain price, it's the materials that are inside the case. It's not the design of the reel at all.
Nice. Good stuff, of course.
There you go.
Definitely.
Well, see, now you got me talking, and what can I say?
But I like it. I like it.
Awesome.
Good knowledge, information here.
Yeah.
Guys, if you don't know, we got Dennis Coons here today. We're having some great discussion on reels, some old stuff he's brought with us, some 100-year-old stuff, all the way to some of the newer stuff that hasn't even been used by him yet. But the differences and comparing new to old has been absolutely phenomenal. Again, Dennis, some of the older stuff, the simplicity, what we talked about, such as, give you an example, a surf fisherman not having the bail there and casting is a problem that's solved right there.
There you go.
You take out the equation of the bail, you're not going to have any problems with bail because it's non-existent.
There you go.
And like you were talking about showing me this reel earlier, you took it apart, right? Was this the one?
No, it's the other one. 3 pieces. You can take it apart. You'll show them how to do it.
All right. I feel good now.
There you go.
But anyway, just to show you guys, you can go fishing with this, probably catch a 25-pound bluefish, maybe more.
It probably could.
You know, it's quite amazing. But to take it apart for the customer, look, you got 2 gears in here. You got this one right here and this one right here on the shaft. The shaft comes out. I mean, this is freaking ridiculous. Look, the whole thing is together here.
That's called a tripart.
Yep.
Well, it's by Meiselbeck, and it's
Please
unbelievable.
Please do, Dennis. Thank you so much for that.
So before we go, I know that I gave you a little swag
Well, we're not
pack
going
there.
quite yet.
Okay, but let me just put in a commercial for Boca Bearings.
Right.
We had talked about reliability on the internet if you're going to go buy hybrid ceramic ball bearings.
Right.
One of the things you want to do is make sure that you get what you pay for. And the way to do that is to go to a reputable supplier. Boca Bearings has been in business for over 30 years. They're out of Delray Beach, Florida. What they do is they're ISO certified, so you know what you're getting. And they're a supplier to the industry. Fishing reel bearings is not just their business. They do all kinds of industrial types of bearings right up the line. They work with manufacturers in 4 different countries. China is one of them, but they also work in Germany, Japan, I believe it's Malaysia or somewhere.
Yeah,
in
whenever I
Indonesia.
hear Germany involved in anything with engineering,
It's funny. They spec out what they want, and then they've got the sub manufacturers. But it's amazing how many people call them and say, "I want the ones made in Japan," or "I want the ones made in Germany." I don't want the ones made in China.
I also want to bring up, and I'm glad I remembered because I didn't remember last time. Korea makes excellent product in whatever they sell. Korea makes product like we used to make product here in the U.S. in the 50s.
Right.
We have bells here that we put on the end of our bells when we go on rivers and we use bait.
Yep.
It's always the same bell. It's the green one, comes from China. It's plastic. The ones that come from Korea have little metal.
There you go.
Clothesliners or whatever you want to call it. Everything on their products. Now, I'm a big camper. I like to go camping. I have a lot of products from Korea.
Okay.
Do you understand, Dennis? They make product superb.
There you go.
They don't make with plastic product. They make a lot of their products with metal. Right. Even some of their tents, they're called pop-up tents that go on top of their cars. They have some of the best on the market.
Right.
Beautiful quality merchandise. And I always say they make product like we used to make product here in the
It's interesting.
50s.
And they got their start, if you will, because Japan priced themselves out, just like what people would say happened here in our country, right? Labor got too expensive. We started trying to source it elsewhere and eventually wound up in China.
And we still do. But
well, and we still do. There's very few reels. There's Accurate, Yvette, and maybe 2 or 3 pens that are made in the U.S. Everything else is pretty much made in China.
Pretty amazing.
But the same thing with the Japanese. The Japanese, the Shimanos, they're made in Malaysia, but their lower end of their line is made in China. Daiwa, same thing. Daiwa's made in Thailand, and I think some are Vietnam and some are
Thailand too. It's not that they make it's American. I don't want to say owned, but their products are a little better there. Taiwan.
Well, it's all
Korea.
I think it's a matter of. I've always said I don't really care whose hands put the reel together.
Sure.
And we've evidenced it here. I care about the design. I care about the materials, and I care about what's the value for the investment.
Absolutely.
Right. And if all of those boxes check off, then I really don't care whose hands put them together.
Absolutely,
right?
Dennis. Very well said.
There you go.
Hey, man, so we got something here. I want you to show the guys on this camera.
There you go.
So that's part of today's giveaway. So what are they getting in there, Dennis?
So this is a swag pack from Boca Bearings. You get a cap. You get a little tin with some candies in it. And I know you're just dying to get a new mouse pad.
It's a new mouse pad.
With bearing measurements on them. That's included in the swag pack as well. And again, if you're a subscriber to my channel and you subscribe to Mr. Poseidon,
yes, sir,
then just put that in a note and a comment to any of my videos, and I'll enter you for the same kind of swag pack. And if anybody who's watching Mr. Poseidon cares to subscribe to Second Chance Tackle, just enter in there Mr. Poseidon on the first video you watch. We'll put you in the drawing for one of those as well.
There you go. Guys, from me today, you're going to be receiving this swag tackle Swag, excellent guy, makes some excellent lures. You can always ask him to make superhero lures if you got kids, Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, and also all kinds of sports team. This, we have a beautiful bottleneck right here. I got to put around the 2.5 ounce measurement. You got a single hook in the back, treble in the middle there. Beautiful stuff, black on top, yellow, all the way to a white on the bottom with a red head. Let's go, let's go. Always the best here on Mr. Poseidon. So today, you're going to be receiving this little package. That's the Boca package from our man, Dennis Coons, and this beautiful swag custom lures lure that you'll be receiving. You guys, if you entered, my wife is going to do the drawing, and good luck to everybody who entered if you tagged 3 people. Also, I want to say, ALZ, thank you so much for that donation. Buddy, thank you so much, man. It's Fish O Maine stopping by to say hi. Fish O Maine makes some great products. I'll show you right here, right now. I got one of his shirts that we had given away. We'll do this one on another giveaway, but check out some of the T-shirts you get, and it's Earn Your Stripes, guys, right there. There you go. Earn Your Stripes, Fish O Maine. Thank you for that. We'll be sending that one out in the next couple of weeks. We just gave out one of those shirts a couple of weeks ago. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate your donation. You're a good man. I'll be in California for the contest, more than fishing. We'll be at that tournament. We'll be meeting quite a few people down there. Mike Fixter, Orlando from NorCal Cats. Also, Hoka Hay Plugs, Jonathan. Let's not forget the Poke Man himself down in San Francisco. Who else are we going to meet? Frank from Stripers Gone Wild. We're going to meet quite a few people. I'm super excited, and hopefully we'll meet Fish O Maine. He's also in the San Francisco area. Thank you so much, guys. Let's go, honey. You want to spin that off?
Oh, yeah.
And also to Chris Ploth. Chris, you didn't have to do that.
Oh,
Thank you
Chris.
so much, guys. We work off donations here. It's not like I want to bend you over and spank you with a whip or something, but we do work off of it. It's not like I'm going on vacation to Hawaii every week with all the donations we get, but I do take that money, the little bit that I get from everybody, and I'm grateful for it. I save it, and come October, I'll be using that as part of the Montauk Striper Challenge prizes that I include with that. Remember, guys, I do not make a profit on this stuff. It's all for you guys. I do the best I can. Also, I want to say to my friend, I see Delco Joe out there. Delco, what's up? Delco Joe was last year's winner in the longest cast, 147 yards. That's a tough one to break, but Joe will be there this year too, defending his title. If you think you can beat him, come on down and let's go. Let's go. Right now, we're speaking to Dennis Coons, and we're going to do that giveaway that he gave us, the Boca Bearings package, and my giveaway, the lure. Go ahead, honey.
What is the lure? Because Outfish Outfitters is saying, show the lure.
Right there, but on the overhead. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
so there you go. You could see it says Swag 23.
What is that?
That's the lure. That's a bottleneck right there. About 2.5 ounces, I would say, tops on this. It's got a nice little flag on the end of it. Treble and single hook, which I love now. Single hooks in the back is the greatest innovation of all. Man, we don't have to deal with that treble hook flying around, especially for bluefish nabs on it. But anyhow, go ahead, honey. You want to do it?
Okay. So is that good?
That's fine.
All right.
You rolled it, right?
Okay, ready, and let me put it up. And the winner is...
My wife is so good at this. She'd be the best circus leader.
I'm just operating a computer. Okay, and the winner is Willie J.
Willie J?
Willie J.
You are the winner, and one day she'll post up your name. But Willie J, you won.
I know.
Congratulations, Willie J.
Willie J.
I put that up so they could see it. There you go. All right, Willie. Congratulations on that, Willie. I'm glad you won.
Brother, he says, wow.
Yeah, of course. Congrats, Willie. You know, listen, to everybody who comes to the channel on a weekly basis, thank you so much. We appreciate it much. I try to bring you the best I can do every week. We try to bring you the best. This week we had Dennis Coons on from Second Chance Tackle. If you like to subscribe to him, Dennis, you want to give him a little info on that?
Sure. It's second. It's got the number 2ND Chance Tackle. If you go into YouTube and search under @Second Chance Tackle, one word, you'll be directed to my site.
There you go. That's Dennis. Second Chance Tackle. He's been on the show twice. It's actually your second time today,
Yeah.
Dennis?
Yeah.
Second time.
About a
We're
year
going to
ago.
have him on again. I always get, you're going to have Dennis on again. Well, he's on today. Hey, Makeup Sunsets, good to see you. That's Mike Parrick's girl out there, Mike Parrick. And her also, she was at the challenge last year. She entered the ladies fishing, the treasure hunt, which was a fun time for the girls. Anything else, honey, you're pointing to?
That's it. Aquatic Ape's funny. He says, give Dennis a third chance.
There you go.
He'll be back.
He'll be back for sure. Delco Joe was using 60-pound main, 80-pound leader with a TA clip and 2 broken guides on a gold X2. Yeah, if anybody wants to know how Joe won that, there it is, right there.
Hey.
Yeah, guys, so thank you so much. Again, let's go back to Dennis one final time. Anything you want to say? Anything to anybody? Anybody else? Anything out there, Dennis?
Just thank you to everybody who's been watching. Please subscribe to Mr. Poseidon. And again, please remember all of the people who gave their lives for our country tomorrow.
That's right. Thank you so much, Dennis. Let's
well
go. Let's
said.
go.
Thank you, Dennis.
Guys,
Thanks for coming
I'll see
on.
everybody next week. Let's go. Let's go.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.